Hola unconventionals, I'm JP and Amelia is back at home because we can only leave one at a time. And I have to run into Montañita today to go to the ATM and to go to tienda to get some supplies. This has not been fun. Well, if you're interested in what's going on here in Ecuador, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our future updates about the coronavirus in Ecuador. The first thing I have to do is try and find a taxi into Montañita. I do have a number I can call of a guy who can hook us up if I can't find one up here. I'm hoping there's one up here waiting for me. They have been few and far between because they can only drive on 2 days a week depending on their license plate number. Look at this puppy. This is new since yesterday. They blocked all the streets so you can't drive down into Olón anymore. They did this in Montañita too. And then the mercados have not been open very much. They're both closed. There's nobody out down here. We came up yesterday and the line for this mercado was clear around the corner, and there were a lot of people and they weren't spaced at all. They were all standing right on top of each other, and the line went clear down to that little cart down there. People don't understand social distancing here. Well, that was a bust. There are several people waiting for a taxi. There are no taxis. And unfortunately, I forgot the number for our guy who drives and has the connections. And it's at home. I tried calling Amelia, but I think the phone is on silent, so she didn't hear it. So I'm gonna have to walk back home to get the guy's phone number and tell him that I need somebody to come get me because I don't want to stand there all day waiting for a cab. I messaged the taxi guy. We'll see if he comes and gets me or somebody comes and gets me. This is a lot of anxiety. I don't really like going out by myself. I'm always the helper. Amelia is the shopper. I just carry things and watch. So I don't really like doing this by myself. But I'm not going to send her out by herself to go do this. So I'm stuck doing it all on my own. And unfortunately, she's stuck in the house. I know she would like nothing more than to go run some errands, but I just don't feel comfortable with her out by herself during these times. I don't know, probably being over paranoid, but it's a different world we live in now. I guess I'm just gonna walk. It's really not that far. The only reason we normally don't walk is because this road is a bit treacherous going through this little narrow pass up here, but there are hardly any cars out today. It's mainly just motorcycles like this guy. So I don't think it's gonna be that bad just to walk. It's not even 2 miles. So I'm just gonna walk and hopefully I'll be able to get a cab back. I bet that bird's happy we're all indoors. There's the ocean. Now that I'm outside the town and at my cruising speed, I need more oxygen. I can't breathe through this damn mask. God, I hate this thing. My glasses fog up. I can't breathe. It's hot. I should have just walked from the beginning. I would have been there by now if I would have just walked when I left home this morning. I left about 45 minutes ago, wasted the last 30 minutes trying to find a cab, and there's a guy up here walking in front of me and he's doing the same thing. He's walking all the way into Montañita. It sucks that there's no ATM machine in Olón anymore. Definitely something to consider when you're thinking about moving is you live in a cash society and there's no ATM machine. It's really inconvenient. This guy up in front of me is trying to wave down every car that drives by. I'm guessing he doesn't want to walk all the way. It's nice to be outdoors. We haven't been out very much. Oh, look at these horses over here. Well, that is an idyllic picture. This is a family of horses. We see them down on the beach grazing too. They just roam freely around here. That's the mom, the white one, the little baby here. I think this is the baby. I don't know, maybe not. But they have a baby and there's a dad. And they're all just a little happy family out munching in the grass. El Cementerio General Comuna Olón. This is the Olón Cemetery. It's kind of on the way to Montañita. There's that guy up there. You can see him way up there in front of me. There he is. He's walking faster. He's not stopping to film. This is that cliff that I filmed with Minnie a couple weeks, or I guess it's been a month ago. when all the yellow trees were blooming on it. I'll link it right up there so that you can go watch a video from a simpler, happier time. Look at that, peacocks. There's my destination, 2 kilómetros más. That's where the orphanage is located, up there on that cliff. That church is built to resemble Noah's Ark. So on the other side, it looks like a ship. On this side, half of the church has fallen down the cliff into the ocean. I'm sure that thing would be condemned in the States, but here they still use it. Look at that, it's so gorgeous, this ocean. Oh, man, I want to be back out there swimming and watching Amelia surf. That is the way to Tia. This also will take me there. It's a little bit longer, but I said before there were no cars. It's just car after car after car now. And I don't want to walk through that little narrow pass with all the cars and trucks speeding by. So I'm going to walk up this hill and get a better view of the ocean. That is a long drop. But man, the views are incredible up here. That's the church I pointed out from down below, the one that looks like Noah's Ark. And you can see how half of it is just falling off down there into the ocean, down there. Some of the surfers were complaining online that, that surfing is a good social distancing activity. The problem is that if you allow surfing, then you have to allow swimming, then people will be walking on the beach, and then there'll be 50 people playing football on the beach, which is what was happening right before they closed the beaches down. So you can't make an exception just for one activity, or else everybody else will be out there and you'll be right back in the same boat. And history has taught us that these quarantining measures work at staving off these virus outbreaks. Unfortunately, it just takes weeks, sometimes months of it to have an impact. And in the meantime, life is a lot different. But this too shall pass, and we will be back to normal before we know it, and we'll be looking back on this saying, remember when, just like people did after the 1918 flu pandemic. Heading down the hill into Montañita, the Tia is basically just right at the end of that road, and the beach is right there. That's where the people like to surf. I don't see any surfers today. They've been arresting the surfers, and their penance, they aren't sending them to jail because that might be a death sentence with this virus. So they are making them issue a public apology and do community service. So this used to be a Volkswagen bus, but the other half fell off into the ocean. This guy does all kinds of art with Volkswagen buses. That would be cool. There's one that is in need of a lot of work. Look at that one. Geez, it's all rusted out. This parking lot is normally full of van lifers, but I think they made them all leave, and then they barricaded the entrance with a mound of dirt. Our friends Sarah and Luca from Leave Everything and Wander are in Argentina. They're having the same problem. They are being told they can't stay anywhere. I'm not sure where these van lifers are supposed to go, because the government has said that hotels and things can't rent. Airbnbs are closed. They can't rent an Airbnb or a hotel, and the towns don't want them parking. So I'm not sure what they're supposed to do. Van lifers don't have a home to go home to. Luca and Sarah are from Italy. They can't even go back there. The borders are closed even if they wanted to. So it's a weird situation. It makes me thankful that we live in a condo and not a van, at least at this point in time. Made it to Tia. Now that I'm back in civilization, the mask is back on. I stopped at the front desk and got my Tia card. That allows me to pay with a credit card now, so I don't have to pay with cash here. I should have done this a long time ago, but I've been procrastinating. But there's hardly anybody in here today, so it's a good day to do it. And I asked the guard at the front if this cart had been cleaned, and he said yes, it has been cleaned. He stands there with a thing of disinfectant and a paper towel, roll of paper towels, and spraying everything. Everybody got here at the same time. Now there's a bunch of people waiting in line to check out. Success! Got the ATM. Got the groceries. Now I'm walking back because they have the roads closed here. I have to walk several blocks down to our condo with our load of groceries. I don't understand why they're not allowing the cabs to drive every day. So what that means is there's not enough cabs. Saw a whole bunch of people walking into Montañita on my way back. And I was lucky enough when I came out of Tia, there was a cab that just pulled up and I hopped right in. But there aren't enough cabs, so people are walking, which is dangerous on that road. And then it's also encouraging them, because they can only drive 2 days a week and they have to earn a living. They're driving like 100 freaking miles an hour on these roads to try and get as many fares in as they can. And as soon as the guy dropped me off here in Olón, 2 more people hopped in. There's only supposed to be out 1 at a time, and only 1 other person in the cab at a time, but we've seen several cabs with multiple people in them. They're just not following the rules, but I think the cabs should be able to drive, if not every day, at least 4 days a week, so they can continue to earn a living, provide the service that they offer, and be a little bit safer with their driving, so they don't try to drive so god dang fast.
JP's back. You made it.
I made it. It was really weird walking to Montañita for the very first time by myself in a quarantine. It was a very strange experience.
And I wish I could have come with you, but not only is it against the rules, but I also had to work. So while JP was walking, I was working.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, these times that we're living in.
I'll say.
Yeah, you know what, I was surprised you're supposed to wear a mask when you're in TIA, and there were several people in there without masks today. And I don't know, I feel like people should be wearing masks. I even saw one guy coughing without a mask and without covering his face.
Gross.
I don't understand people. God, this is common sense. It's common sense when there's not a pandemic. It's mandatory when there is.
Yes, everyone needs to take extra precautions.
Yeah. All right, Amelia, what are we going to do now with the rest of our day?
Well, I think it's time to have some lunch. We're having leftovers.
And relaxing later.
Oh, but I am going to practice my surfer pop-up.
Oh yeah, she's going to do her pop-ups later.
Yes, I watched the surfing video that JP did of my very first ever surf lesson.
It was available to our patrons as an early access video a couple days ago, and it will be available for everyone on Easter Sunday.
Anyway, it reminded me that I should be practicing with the hope that I will be able to get out there and surf again very soon. And I know you're supposed to build up those memory muscles.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think I got into a loop.
She got stuck in a loop.
So that's the plan.
All right. Well, let's get busy. I'm hungry after all of my walking and working.
Yeah, I've just been sitting.
All right, let's eat.
All right.
Amelia's in there doing her surf pop-ups. Let's go check in on her. Paddle, paddle, paddle.
Don't make me laugh. This is definitely a lot different than doing it in the sand, or most importantly on a surfboard.
Well, you still look good doing it.
I can tell I haven't practiced in a couple weeks. It's hard to practice paddling like this.
You have to use your imagination. Looking good.
Unconventionals, I read that I should be practicing the pop-up like 20 times a day. And I know I need to, because I was huffing and puffing, so I better make that part of my routine. I really need to build up my endurance, which is a little tricky when you're quarantined.
Yeah, and we wanted to let you know that we posted a video on our Lot of Veg cooking channel. Amelia made her chocolate gooey delicious beet brownies for us. Oh, they're so delicious.
Yep, they're awesome. So really what I want to do is do some yoga and then practice my pop-ups. And then I want to bake like nobody's business, because I want comfort food. So that's not really good for the surfer body, but it's definitely good for my brain.
Yeah, it's definitely mood enhancing food. We're eating a little bit too much of it, I would say.
Yeah. Oh well.
We also wanted to let you know that we're going to host another live stream on Saturday afternoon. So mark your calendars and be sure and hit subscribe so you get notified when I publish that.
They're a lot of fun. We enjoy them.
Yeah,
so
they are a lot of fun.
And if you like this video, leave us a thumbs up, please.
Yep, that would be great. And share it with your friends on social media.
And then we'll see you all in our next video.
Ciao.
Ciao.